I would like to point out something about the UFC 301 main event that's happening in Brazil. MMA Curses will make Steve Erceg KO Alexandre Pantoja for the first time in his career and actually make him look hurt, get killed, not maybe not get killed. Let's go back. But let me tell you all the curses. So obviously there was a 35 and over curse that is happening in the UFC. If you're 35 and years and over, you most likely will lose. The only two, and it's only happened twice where someone has won, and that's Tyron Woodley against Demian and Maia against someone who actually against Damian Maia, who's someone who actually was above 35. Another one against Darren Till. He's a crazy and an amazing legacy for Tyron Woodley because no one else has ever done that. No Alexander Volkanovski, no anyone. But Pantoja is 34 years old, so the curse won't apply yet, and he turned 34 in April. So next year, whoever it is, if he does win this fight next year, he'll be out of here. He'll be out of here, trust me. So many people have won at 34, and it is a flyweight division, so maybe the 34 curse goes a bit more down just due to the size and the everything goes down because they are way smaller men. But recently, Lucas Tracy MMA, a man who I hate when he makes predictions, but the man has made another prediction. He says that Pantoja will win due to MMA just MMA knowledge. The guy is a champ. Shut up, man. The guy is a champion. The guy has beaten everyone in the division. He is 2-0 against all the tops. Against Brandon Moreno, he is 4-0. The guy is an animal. He's 4-0 against Brandon Moreno. He has beat Kaikara. He has beat many people. I don't have to go into the list. I'll put a photo up here which shows every single time he's beaten people in the top 15. But and I'll show you and Lucas Tracy, whenever he makes a prediction, it obviously happens the other person wins. Like the Chael Sonnen curse, but it's more prominent nowadays. Obviously, people say, but he said that Alex Pereira was going to knock out Jamal Hill, which happened. Yes, but before that, he made a video saying that Jamal Hill was going to knock out Alex Pereira. So the curse got placed on Jamal Hill. It was there. It was right there. It got cursed. Poor lad got cursed already. You can't do much about it. Even if you're soapster, the curse is already there. The curse is already there. You've done your trouble. Lucas has already done his trouble. That's one curse. That curse already there would have made me change my position just because of that. And then on the other hand, you have MMA Guru picking the other side. The only time Lucas and Tracy's curse does actually apply is when the MMA Guru or the YouTubers, obviously when they agree with him, it doesn't apply. But when he's separate, it obviously always applies. Lucas Tracy always gets his picks wrong. This is what he's known for. He has a 47% pick rate if I'm right, 53, something awful. But and another point that I have, and I want to delve more into this topic is Brazilian fighters headline for Brazil always lose. And I'm going to tell you the history. UFC 134, the first ever UFC card in Brazil. The Brazilian fighter wins. UFC 142, the Brazilian fighter loses. 147, Brazilian fighter loses. So now there's 2 wins and 1 loss. And now we'll go 153, win. 63, win. 79, win. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. All right, UFC 190. Here's where it starts. Ronda Rousey versus Bethe Correia. Ronda Rousey wins. Fabricio Werdum versus Stipe Miocic. He wins. Jose Aldo versus Max Holloway. He loses. Amanda Nunes versus some other guy. She wins by, come on, that's just like, come on. I'm going to get to my point. Rose versus Jessica Andrade. Andrade wins. Teixeira versus Hill. Teixeira loses. And if you go more down into the fight nights, you have Teixeira versus Bethe. He wins. Maia just Belfort versus Henderson. Vitor Belfort wins that one. So most of the time in the fight nights, the Brazilian does actually win. Almeida won. Rafael Assunção did lose against Moraes. Bethe versus Nogueira. Nogueira obviously won that one. Vitor Belfort won that one. Vitor Belfort won against Kevin Gastelum and Henderson. Yeah, okay. Bigfoot versus Arlovski. Antonio Silva, Bigfoot won. Antonio Silva lost his next fight with me. Blachowski versus Jacare. Ronaldo Souza actually lost that fight. Bronson versus Machida. Machida lost that fight. Cunningham versus Alves. Alves lost that fight. Now Chris Cyborg won. Damian Maia won. Charles Oliveira versus Lee. He won. Machida versus Anderson. Lyoto Machida won. Machida versus Dolway won. Santos and then Shogun Henderson. Mauricio Rua won. And Shogun versus St. Peru. Mauricio Rua lost again. He lost both of those fights. He got to Belfort versus Bisping. Belfort won. Belfort versus Rocco. Belfort won. And the UFC fighter Brazil. Silva won. Antonio Nogueira versus Fabricio Werdum. Werdum won. Ultimate fighter Brazil. Won this versus Chael Sonnen. Silva won, but I thought that fight didn't happen. I take the Silva one. This is talking about the ultimate fight, so we can basically point out, but that doesn't even got to do my point. I don't know what I said, but I guess if you want to know, I wanted to Silva versus Rich Franklin. Silva won that one. Nogueira versus Fabricio Werdum. Werdum actually won that one. And Chael Sonnen versus Silva. Silva won that one. Nogueira versus Stevens Drew. That was an ultimate fight. What the flip? Wait, what? Let me just check this information. That is no way right. That must have been a fight. Give me a second. There is no way someone has given Stevens Struve the main event. No, they didn't. I don't think they did. Did they actually give him an ultimate fighter? No way. I refuse to believe that. Oh no, he won by round. Got me scared for a second. I was gonna say But okay, we move to the pay per views. In the most pay per views, one, two, three, four, five. Five times a Brazilian fighter has lost. And obviously, if you're going to count it, wait. Okay, we'll look more into success rate. Out of the 47 listed UFC events, Brazilian fighters have won 23 events out of lost 24. This shows a relatively balanced performance, but obviously negating in the Brazilians' way. But if we look more specifically into the data, which headlining a card with UFCs, we have that have Brazilian fighter winnings. 7 out of 12 they have won. But let's look a bit more close into fights which weren't set up for them to win. And if we look into Verdun versus Stipe, which was close, Stipe was 175. Underdog, Stipe knocked him out in the first round. Aldo versus Holloway, Aldo was the favorite, knocked him out in the first round. Andrade versus Rose, Rose was the favorite, knocked him out in the second round. That is, I got this Aldo on the way. Hill versus Teixeira, Hill being the 150. These are fights that are close, that are going to be competitive, and you know it's going to be competitive, and you know you're not going to. Back in the day, you knew this guy was not going to win. And those fights, they always lose. Whenever a fight is close, and because it looks close on paper, they always lose. Whenever a fight looks close on paper, not that. Whenever a fight looks close on paper, they always lose. But Steve Erceg versus Pantoja odds on being Pantoja is a negative 198 favorite. So he's obviously the biggest favorite out of all of them. And Steve Erceg being 164, these are close odds. But Stipe was a bigger odd. And if we're just talking about statistics and we're just talking about this and that, this means that Pantoja will win just due to the MMA curses that have been put on Pantoja to lose. And that is why Steve Erceg will knock the living shit out of Pantoja in the third round. Let's go, baby.